Jacob had many children, but he loved Joseph best of all. When Joseph was 17 years old, Jacob gave him a beautiful robe with long sleeves. Joseph's brothers were jealous. One night, Joseph had a strange dream. In the morning, he told his brothers, "I dreamed we were all binding wheat sheaves in a field, and suddenly my sheaf stood up and all of your sheaves bowed down." The brothers were angry. Was Joseph saying that he was better than they were? Then Joseph had another dream. He said, "Last night I dreamed that the sun, moon, and 11 stars were bowing down to me." Well, even his father Jacob was surprised. He said, "What kind of dream is this? Will your mother and I and your brothers bow down to you?" A few days later, Joseph's brothers took their flocks to a pasture far away. One day, Jacob said to Joseph, "Go and check on your brothers and the flock, and then come and tell me how they're doing." When Joseph's brothers saw him coming, some of them said, "Here comes the dreamer. Let's kill him and throw him in a pit." But Reuben said to the others, "Don't take his life. Throw him in the pit, but don't hurt him." When Joseph got to the pasture, his brother snatched his robe and threw him into a pit. Then the brothers saw some traders passing by. Judah said, "Hey, let's sell Joseph to the traders." So they lifted Joseph out of the pit and sold him for 20 pieces of silver. The traders then took Joseph to Egypt, where they sold him as a slave. To hide what they had done, the brothers dipped Joseph's robe into blood from a goat. And then they took the robe to their father Jacob and said, "Look, this is what we found." Jacob said, "It is my son's robe. Joseph has died." Jacob mourned for many days, and his sons and daughters could not comfort him. God was with Joseph while he was a slave in Egypt, even when he was wrongly sent to jail. There, Joseph explained the meaning of dreams to 2 of Pharaoh's workers. When Pharaoh himself had troubling dreams, one of those workers remembered Joseph. So Pharaoh sent for Joseph and asked, "What do my dreams mean?" In his first dream, Pharaoh was standing by the Nile River. 7 fat cows came out of the river, and then 7 thin cows ate the fat cows. He also dreamed about 7 fat ears of grain that were swallowed by skinny ears of grain. Joseph explained the dreams. There will be 7 good years, and then 7 years of famine. Choose someone wise to be in charge of Egypt. Gather food and store it for the years of famine. "You are very wise," said Pharaoh. Pharaoh placed his ring on Joseph's finger and put him in command. Meanwhile, a famine came to Canaan, where Joseph's family lived. Father Jacob said, "Go to Egypt to buy grain." So all of his sons, except young Benjamin, left for Egypt. When they got there, they bowed down to Joseph without knowing he was their brother. But Joseph accused them of being spies and put them in jail. Then he released all but one of them on the condition that they would bring their younger brother to him. When the brothers got back to Canaan, they told Jacob that they had to take Benjamin back with them. "No!" cried Jacob. "I won't lose Benjamin!" But the famine got worse. So Jacob told his sons, "Go to Egypt. May God be merciful. Take some food and money as a present to this man in Egypt." When the brothers arrived back in Egypt, they bowed down and gave him gifts, but they still did not recognize him. Finally, Joseph said to them, "Come closer to me. I'm your brother, Joseph. God has used me to keep many people alive. Bring our father and your families to come live with me in Egypt." Joseph hugged his brothers. The brothers returned to their father to tell him the news. "Your son is alive!" And Jacob's family left Canaan and settled in Egypt. Hi, my name is Mike, and I hope you enjoyed this story about Joseph and his brothers. You know, many of the stories in the Bible teach us important lessons that we can apply to our own lives. For instance, in this story, Joseph told dreams that made his brothers angry. The brothers were jealous and punished Joseph. Reuben went along with some things, but also stood up to the others. When have you stood up to others who are being cruel? Many schools have programs to address bullying behavior. Find out ways that you can help in your school or community. You also discovered in this story that God can use the situations in our lives in surprising ways. Ask a family member to tell you about a time when God turned a bad situation into something good. By the way, if you enjoyed the story of Joseph and his brothers, you might enjoy watching the movie Joseph, King of Dreams, or the hit Broadway musical Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor.